Okay, folks, so these are some of the tools you're going to need to pull this job off. Some are optional, some just make your life easier. But let's start out over here. You're going to need some way to just check the voltage across your battery to make sure that your alternator can handle two batteries. The instructions clearly tell you how to do this. You have to turn your engine on and turn a bunch of stuff on and see if you're getting the proper voltage. That tells you if your alternator is strong enough. So, and most modern cars are plenty strong enough for this, especially SUVs and stuff. So anyway, you need something to test the voltage there. Now, if your car is kind of old and beat up, or if it's been mudding and it's real dirty and stuff, you might need one of these battery terminal cleaners. It cleans this way, and then I'm back. So this cleans the inside of the terminals, but you might be replacing the insides. But this one on the battery, especially your main battery, if you're getting a new battery for your secondary battery, you won't need to clean it off. It wouldn't hurt to get a better connection. Then you're going to need a drill. The solenoid will have to be mounted vertically. You can't mount it horizontally or any kind of weird direction unless it's totally not going to get wet. It's made to drain water if it's mounted vertically, so it's going to be on your firewall or your fender or something like that, so you need to drill some holes to do that. And of course you need some drill bits if you're going to do that. Then you're going to need a measuring device so you can measure the length of cables that you need. Always good to have a couple of screwdrivers handy for miscellaneous stuff. There's a Phillips and a straight. Now this is a cable cutter. You don't have to have, this is optional. This just makes really nice cuts on battery cables. And my dad was an electrician for 50 years and I grew up with doing things right. So he always made me do things right, run the wires nice and perfectly and everything. So I'm going to make sure I have real nice ends on the wires. Now this ratchet and extender and socket just represents a whole socket set you probably need. To put the second battery in and the hold down, you're probably going to need an extension to get down below the battery to mount the second battery. Hey, and if you don't have a place for the second battery, you're going to have to buy a battery tray and install it somewhere in your vehicle. But the Suburban comes with a second tray already there, but it doesn't have the hold down. I'll show you that later in the accessories. And if your batteries are really in bad shape, you might need a battery cable puller. So this pulls the end off your battery if it's corroded and stuff, so you don't damage the battery trying to take the cables off from the old battery. And needle nose pliers always come in handy. Regular pliers handy. I know I use my everyday carry knife that I Benchmade for something as you're working on cars. I always do. And then this item, again, this is optional. This is actually two of them here. These are cable crimpers. So this crimps. This one is amazing. It's only 35 bucks. It's hydraulic cable crimper and has all these different dies with it, so you can crimp the end onto the battery cable after you cut them to length. And this is just a backup one that I found over in the garage. So you put the thing in there and squeeze down, and it puts the ends on the cables. So that's about it. The tools, you might need something else. You might run into some weird situation, but that's pretty much it for what you need for tools.